his shot. Bruce score, they score. They tie the game up 2-2.
He drives out for Robbie Ryan. Her three right on the money. This is Taya Hansen for three. Other side of the rim with a pretty reverse.
Wow.
5 seconds to go. Find Hawk. Hawk spins. It rolls off. And Arizona State wins it. Edwards pulls off and buries the puck.
Daniels takes the shot for Derby.
Happy Monday, all. Welcome into Pitchfork Lunch. Yes, I am Michael Caratanudo at Diablo00 on X, artist formerly known as the Twitter. And hope everybody had a great weekend. For those that were out at Pat's Run, man, it was awesome, and I'll get to that. And look, I got my. I don't just not everybody always gets it. Everybody gets a medal, but no, this is obviously bigger and more important than that. But definitely had to show it off. Definitely had to show it off. 20 years of Pat's Run. And yes, I did the first. And I told you guys all that last week. But anyway, here's the awesome medal. So I'm wearing it today just to show it off because yes, it rocks. And I want to I want to show it off. So that is that. But yes, it's from Pat's Run. So anywho, I'll talk more about that. But yes, at Diablo00 on X, artist formerly known as Twitter. You see the show live here every day. My IG, Michael.Caracino.5, and YouTube. Guys, subscribe to the YouTube channel. You have missed a plethora of interviews. We have more coming up this week. I have have more coming up this week again with some coaches, and hopefully adding some players to that too. Again with schedules, but I am efforting that. So yes, but go to the YouTube, subscribe. It's not that hard. You can watch it live there every day. If you can't catch it live and see this awesome medal that I have from Pat's Run, that's right, my own gold medal. But and see it. That's the thing. Go to YouTube though, and yeah, you can watch all the shows. They are all there. But subscribe to my channel. It would be very awesome. And you can binge watch all the coach interviews you've missed and some pretty awesome ones, got to admit. But go to YouTube. It's at M as in Michael, V as in Victory, C as in Cat 005 at MVC005 on YouTube, and subscribe, because you can go back and watch. But I do hope everybody had an awesome weekend. It was a crazy busy weekend. Like I said, in Sun Devil country, leading off with Pat's Run. Well, softball on Friday night, which I will get to. That was oh man. Softball, baseball Friday night. Also, Saturday, Pats run, water polo, softball, baseball. Lacrosse was on the road. And then Sunday, softball and baseball. Yes, it was a very, very tough. I mean, tough weekend. Again, competitive. The softball game on Saturday was frustrating just because there was a B delay. Yes, if you follow me on the good old X at Diablo00, there was a B delay for quite a long time. Yes, and it wasn't just like 4 or 5 bees. It was literally a hive of bees, and they were just camping out around the net, the backstop net, and flying around. So yeah, I don't really want to get anybody stung. So yeah, they calmed down, and then they finally it was about a good hour and a half delay. And then spring practice on Saturday night too. If I can get to that, some sound from spring practice on Saturday. Hines Ward is the new wide receivers coach, and yes, Coach Dillingham was asked quite a few questions about that on after Saturday night's practice, which was open to the public. Great to see people out there again. Pretty good, very good turnout, and at the Kajikawa practice field. So yeah, during the softball delay, for those of you who are familiar, I just walked over to the. I was going to go to spring practice anyway, just due to the fact that softball was supposed to start at 5. Then there's a little uniform delay because both teams were wearing white. So there was a uniform delay, and then there was a B delay. So Saturday night was very interesting, and it was a again, you talk about momentum of a game. Utah got up, ASU battles all the way back, but just fell a little bit short as they dropped Saturday night's game 10-9. And but yeah, it's look, I mean, the injuries are one thing, and yeah, teams have them, but getting extra, having a shortened bench and pitching staff wise. I mean, Deb Jones has been rocking it. Marissa Scholl when she's been out there. Loppy when she has been out there as well too. But and Marissa Scholl, I mean, is a hitter too. So when she pitches, she can definitely still rock the plate. Again, I talked about watching, calling some of her games when she was at Pinnacle. But yeah, so it was a tough weekend. I mean, they did drop all 3 to Utah. Now they have midweek tomorrow coming up against Grand Canyon. I mentioned that. Baseball, Utah took 2 out of 3. They took the first one. I mean, they shut them out, and then ASU battled back Saturday night and won 8-3. And then yesterday it was 11-5, and it was I mean, back to back home runs for the Devils, 1, 2, and 3 hitters. Like, again, you're obviously you're going to take runs and home runs, but Coach Bloomquist, I mean, I've played it for you here, and post games talked about it. I mean, yeah, if it's the first inning and you're starting like that, which again, not a bad thing, but Utah, then ASU got off to a fast start, but then Utah's able to come back. Didn't have to use many arms on Friday night, and you didn't have to use a lot of arms, and then that paid off yesterday. But I mean, look, they're squaring the ball up. It's just not being consistent for lineup. But again, there's a pitcher out there. I mean, ASU scored 3 in the bottom of the first, right? And those are the back-to-back-to-back home runs by Campus, Vu, and Tobias. So, I mean, that's I mean, when you look at that, I mean, yeah, home run. Campos, home run. Vu, home run. Tobias, home run. I mean, then you get a walk after that to Lance, and then you get a fly out, a strikeout, and then a ground out. But still, I mean, all right, you'll take that. Almost batting around. You get 7 batters to the plate. And then in the second, first 2 batters strike out, and you get a little 2-out rally back to Campos. He doubles. And then Key and Vu singles. Campos scores. And then Tobias flied out to center. So you look at that, and it's, well, Utah did get 1 in the top of the second, but it's 4-1. And then Utah ties it up in the top of the third, makes it 4-4. And then ASU gets 1 more, and they're up 5-4. Nobody scores in the 4th or 5th. In the 6th inning is when Utah, yeah, they put up 5, and inevitably, that's when the game got away from the Devils, because in the 6th, yeah, because in the 6th, I mean, they, lead off with a single, then a 2-run home run, then a hit by pitch, a strikeout, a fly out, and you figure, okay, 2 outs. And you're like, all right, 2 outs, the 2 runs, not great, but you'll take it. And then we get a 3-run dinger. And then right after that from Utah, and then get a ground out back to the pitcher. And that ended the 6th. And then, but yeah, they put up 5 there, 2 more in the 8th. And then ASU, I mean, did not score after the 3rd. So 5 in the first 3 innings, which again, you'll take, not bad. But then after that, I mean, the matchups and the pitching, the arms Utah had, and they did. I mean, they squared up some pitch. There's quite a few balls. I mean, I know. I know pitchfork lunchers, you're going to say this, and yes, it is more. It's not just silver lining. You're going to say this, but I will say, there's a lot of warning track balls. There's quite a few warning track balls from ASU, and at least 2 to 3 more runs. And yes, obviously 2 to 3 more at that point when it's 11-5, it's 11-8. But it was, before. There's a few of them before Utah put up that 5 spot. So again, I mean, are they pressing? What's the difference? You get what I'm saying, right? But that being said, yeah, it was just tough. But I also wanted to show you guys, which I will show you, because I'm going to take a quick break and then we'll come back and talk about more stuff. But water polo, but baseball, yeah, to wrap that up. So they lose yesterday 11-5. They dropped the series. Water polo on senior day took on number 4 USC, and man, back and forth. I talked about it last week. ASU's number 10. Yes, they're headed to the postseason, but yeah, they're headed to the postseason, but yeah, they lost 14-10 to USC. They honored their 4 seniors. Lucha Pedovari, obviously, the amount of goals she scored this year, had a hat trick. in that game against USC on Saturday. But oh man, and it's an awesomely insane schedule, which again, absolutely money for this team this year. But Um, but yeah, I mean, Coach Party has done such a great job, and this team, I mean, like I said, this team, yeah, they got their work cut out for them, but to an extent, but man, I mean, their play they're getting in goal as well too. Just yeah, it is exciting. It was tough. I mean, USC #4 in the country, and it was 4-2, and then all of a sudden, it was crazy because in the second quarter, it's 4-2 going into it. You're like, all right, ASU's down by 2, and then USC, I mean, 6 goals. All of a sudden, it's 10-2, and then ASU answers back with 3. So you're like, okay, it's 10-5, and then yeah, they answered back with 4. Then USC did get one before the end of the period, but 11-6 at half. You're like, okay, all right, it's not out of it's not out of reach, but yeah, USC again, just a little too much, little bit, just had a comfortable enough lead, and yeah, too comfortable of a lead, a little, just had enough space on the lead. Little cushion, but ASU, I mean, until the end, and that's what this team's done all year. And actually, I'm going to get to that. I got some sound from the seniors, from Lucha, from Alba, so I want to get to that. But yes, I am going to take a quick break. But on the way out, just want you to see some of the just some of the awesome stuff from Pat's run that I was in. So on the way out, we'll see 1, 2 maybe, and then on the way in, when we come back. So yes, we will we'll do that. But yeah, I'll get to more of Pat's run too when we get back. Also a little bit more softball and sound from the seniors at water polo as well. So yes, that is a lot to get to. But again,
Remember slow.
hold on. Whoa, a little excited there. But yes, we shall see that. But yeah, just stuff from Pat's run. And like I said, water polo, softball, baseball, all that good stuff coming back. Got some, again, great sound over the weekend. And it's just, again, awesome to be out there. So we'll step aside, but more coming up here on Pitchfork.
Remember, slower walkers and joggers, please stay to the left of the course. Faster runners, we want you on the right. As you're working right at the 50-yard line of Sun Devil Stadium, your official finish line of today's event. Crowd number 4 all the way up to the start line.
And corral number 4 is led by Tillman Scholar Regan Turner. As a Marine Corps vet, Regan became a Tillman Scholar in 2010 while pursuing his MBA and Master's in Public Policy from Harvard University. Let's make some noise for Regan Turner. All right, 6 weeks.
Clear for your safety and the safety of all participants.
This is awesome. So yeah, I finally just have audio, but yeah, end of Pat's run, and yeah, pretty stoked. Finished. And these are the thieves. They're finishing. It's pretty awesome, as you can see.
Brett Frazier at Tempe is pushing that stroller across the finish line. Yeah, we see you, Brett. Mark Brennan of Scottsdale, good job crossing the finish line. And congratulations to Megan Brennan. 68-year-old Nancy Roberts.
Deal.
And you see it more there, more from people crossing the finish line. I got from there we go, from Pat's Run 2024. Look, I got the medal. I'm wearing it today on the show. Yes. And no, this has nothing to do with, though, but everybody, I always say deserves a trophy. But yeah, the guy that, when the runner, I should say, gentleman that, yeah, he just obviously trains for this. And me not being the distance runner in the first half. Got to give a big shout out, though, before I move on. I made a new friend, Susie. We were talking. She's a military vet. And this is really, it was really cool. We about probably, I want to say probably about a mile in, just like where we were. Because like I said, I told you guys, I kept to my strategy. Pretty much walk in the first half because, kind of doing some stuff going like uphill and all that good stuff. I got a good stretch in, all that good stuff. But what were we gonna say? Oh, but I got a good stretch in, everything, all that good stuff. But I we were just we had crossed Rio Salado and we're headed, towards Curry on the course, and she had said something, we started talking, but she's a military veteran, 7 years in the Army, but then 20 years in the Air Force. So yes, I said, oh, you told the wrong person this, because I want to sit and ask a ton of questions that you probably can't answer. But no, it was awesome. So we were Pat's Run mates, but yeah, we cruised the course, and again, it was awesome. Finished it, like I said, I'm not worried about the time, but did a really good job. But yeah, it was so awesome to again just meet a vet, and she said she was actually in DC the last 7 years. Working at the Pentagon. So that was actually awesome. But yeah, total shout out to Susie. And I got a shout out again, my sister, Lisa, for helping me out in what I was doing. And Phil, definitely big shout out there to Phil, but yeah, it was awesome talking to Susie. And then, like I said, you saw the finish line across that, and I just wanted to get, wanted to get film, obviously, of that, but just people crossing and how big it's gotten. I mean, look, I remember doing the first one, of course, the first year of anything, obviously for a great cause, but still, like there was there's a little more room on the course, to say the least, but it was awesome. Jake Plummer started the race, or pictures that I saw, that I retweeted out before I started, and then obviously only got on my phone once, just to show that I was keeping to what I said I was doing, proof, and I wasn't taking a shortcut whole course. But Jake Plummer was there to start the race. Dr. Jesse McGuire, oh my goodness, he did the national anthem, and he does it on a trumpet, and he's done it at the Diamondbacks games for years. Valley sports fans, I know you know that, but absolutely awesome. Absolutely just awesome. So, but yeah, why don't you shout out Susie again? Awesome, making a new friend, and she had other friends in it, but they were all at different paces, and I'm bummed at some of my friends. You all knew I was doing this, and then I see people out there taking pictures. I was like, okay, I guess we're not friends, because when they it finished and stuff like that. But the volunteers, obviously, the Tillman Foundation, sports teams from ASU. I saw Coach Natasha Adair and the women's basketball team out on the course. encouraging people, but at a water station. And so it was awesome to see, everybody getting out there for that, players and, from different sports. And just the volunteers as well, too. Ton of volunteers come out. If you're not able to, run it or walk the course, to run walk, there's other ways to get involved, which is awesome to see all those volunteers out there. So thank you to the volunteers. Obviously, like I said, the Tillman Foundation, and this obviously very spearheaded by phenomenal assistant athletic director, SID, Doug Tamro, who is again, been a part of all of these, and it was just awesome. So again, so great to be out there. I love my medal. I just wanted to wear it for the show today. No, yes, I wore it all of Saturday because I was stoked, but I will say this. No, I'm not going to wear it every day, but it would be nothing wrong if I did, because it is for a man that this event for the Tillman Foundation, and for a man that, like I said, lived life, full speed ahead. And it was just awesome to be back there for the 20th edition. Like I said, every year I've done it, got more and more, it got fuller. So, and so next year, you know what? See if I can run a little more of the course. I got to admit, still a little sore today, stretched out though, got to get the good post stretch and hydration, all that good stuff. My guy Low Tone saying, check your electrolytes. And, all kidding aside, I appreciated that, Low Tone. So, but yes, that is that. So, water polo, by the way, again, finished, like I said, they lost 14-10 to number 4 USC. But before we get there, shout out to men's golf, the Thunderbird Collegiate. This is insane. They the men's golf team, and it was at Papago, it's their home course, but still, like, these are college golfers. So Preston Summerhays was the individual champion, so forks up to Mr. Summerhays there. And Coach Thurman, man, I mean, look, it's a historical performance, but like it was absolutely phenomenal, amazing, dominant. But it's the second consecutive Thunderbird Collegiate team title. The Sun Devils finished an incredible 38 under to win by 28 strokes. Guys, let that sit in. For a whole team, like 38 under and won by 28 strokes, the largest margin of victory by any team at the Thunderbird Collegiate since at least 2000. And it is the 22nd time ASU has kept the Thunderbird Collegiate trophy home. Forks up men's golf. That is a way to dominate. But yeah, I mean, men's golf dominating. I mean, come on. Not really a surprise, right? Right, y'all? Not a surprise. So that being said, but yeah, hey, Pat's Run medal. No, I'm laughing. I am very proud. My Pat's Run medal because of 20th edition. But I talked about it, and I'll show you more from that too. The way the finish line was done up, everything. So absolutely awesome. But yeah, the men's golf team, men's golf dominating again. Coach Thurman, man, forks up to your team, back-to-back titles, 38 under as a team to win by 28 strokes. Yeah, that is domination. So Texas is hosting the golf championships this year, but they're being played. The University of Texas is hosting it, but they're hosting it in San Diego. Go figure. Phenomenal, right? I love it. But yeah, so but shout out to men's golf on that. That was absolutely awesome. And yeah, and Summerhays gets the individual title out of it. Well, I mean, look, you win by 38. And you should be able to have an individual champion, I would think. But no, it's phenomenal performance. So keep crushing it, men's golf. But water polo, like I said, they fell to number 4 USC, 14-10. Like I said, it was 4-2 after the first quarter. Oh, so yeah, USC, I skipped a quarter. Sorry. I was like, what's going on? But USC outscored them 5-0 in the second quarter. So they go to half and it's 9-2, right? And then it was like USC gets a goal. It was 10-2, and then ASU rattled off 3 to make it 10-5. And then it was, I want to say 11-5 and then 11-6, if I got that right. So 9-2, 9-3, 9-4, 9-5. Yeah, then it became 10-5, then 10-6, then 11-6 and 12-6, then 12-8, then 13-8. Oh, no. Hold on. Yeah, so it was 2-0 SC, then it was 2-2. Then they rattled off. So it was 9-2, and then they got the first goal in the third to make it 10-2. Then it was 10-5 because ASU got 3 in a row. Then it was 11-5. And then with 1 second left in the third, Millie Quinn just had to launch a shot, and she launches it, and she scores with 1 second left to make it 11-6. Then it was USC got the next 2 to make it 13-6, and it was 13-8. And then it became 14-8, and then ASU got the last 2 from a senior from Alba Olivia Marta. She got the last 2 to make it 14-10. But I mean, it's a team that just keeps battling. And Lucia Petavari, again, 3 goals. Millie Quinn had 2 goals and 1 assist. Sophie Shorter Robinson, 3 goals. And then, like I said, Alba Olivia Marti had 2 goals on 3 shots. So, I mean, again, another senior. So, yeah, Abby Begg, Emily Van Zonneveld, Lucia Petavari, and Alba Olivier Marti, the 4 seniors that were honored for water polo, which Coach, again, Coach has done such, Coach Party has done such a phenomenal job. Petra Party, yes, the head coach, he has done such a phenomenal job. And, you know, she talked about this team, but I want to, because again, it's pitchfork lunch, kids. I get out to, I deliver as much as possible. And again, one man band in it, don't deserve, not looking for anything, but all I'm saying is getting out to, the sports, getting to know these teams. And again, working on, coaches and players. Now they have their, now they have their postseason coming up. They got 13 days off. And again, it is just such a physical sport, demanding. And look, I'm efforting on talking to Coach Party this week. So that should happen. And again, she can explain it much better. But again, seeing it never, look, I told you guys, side note, real quick, I had a friend, one of my suite mates in college. He was at ASU. Or one of my friend's suite mates, but he was from San Diego, played water polo, played in high school, ASU on a club team. So he would go out and play. I remember just going to watch and be like, oh my God. And even having watched the Olympics before that, like I said to you before, I understand it's foul, but just again, the precision, the stamina, the focus, because again, once you all get tired, and yeah, you can sub in and out, but players that are, scoring, yes, you have to play offense and, defense. And it's just insane. It is awesome, but yeah, so tough to do. So, But it is just when you see water polo guys, and in the Summer Olympics now coming up, when they go to the underwater cam again, it's one of those reviews, and you just see it, and it's like, oh man, that's like, wow, look at that, like the strength and the focus to not get called maybe for what should be a foul, and the whistles do blow, and you'll see it, and if it happens in certain spots, it's a penalty shot, so that's always huge. But the underwater cam, you will see it is just insane. But yeah, it is just awesome. But I want you to hear from Lucia Pedoveri, who again, senior year, and this year, look, I mentioned that she finishes, the regular season with a hat trick. I mean, look, they're 22-7 overall, 2-4 in conference play, but again, playing a lot of ranked teams. And I asked her about the schedule. Talk to coach about their schedule, but individually this season for Lucia, she had 148 points. 120 of those were goals in 20, and she played in all 29 games. So she had 120 goals and 28 assists, 148 points in 29 games. That is phenomenal. Millie Quinn had a hell of a season too. 69 goals, 40 assists, over 100 points as well. She had 109 total points. And then Sophie Shorter Robinson, who I mentioned, 53 goals, 7 assists on the year. Laura Kiss, who led the team in assists, 12 goals, but 42 assists. Again, picking her teammates out. They're getting the space, the spots, and hitting the spots and just blasting the goals. Olivia Marti, who I said she had 37 goals on the season and 2 assists, so 39 points. But I mean, for Lucia, 120 goals. Like, yeah, that's a hell of a way to cap your senior season. So I'm going to play her sound. I'll let you know what she had in previous seasons, because I again, senior day and total international flavor to the water polo team, which I love. Because they're Sun Devils for life. We know this. Forks up to that all day. But yeah, so yes, you will hear from her, and I'll give you her total goals even from last year. But yes, here is Lucia Saturday after the Mona Plummer Aquatic Center, after again the 14-10 loss to 4th ranked USC. Right there though. But yeah, here's what she had to say after the match, and obviously her last home match and her career as a Sun Devil.
Where am I going? Where am I looking? Am I holding that or no?
Oh, no.
Am I too close or?
We asked a similar question to Alba, but what has this team meant to you? And obviously on this special day, you're able to kind of reflect on all those memories and how this team shaped you and the person you are as well. I just want to know your thoughts on that.
Yeah, well, obviously in the past 4 years, I think I changed a lot and I'm a completely different person, but for the better, I hope. This team is literally my family. Like, from the first moment I stepped into the pool, I felt the dynamic of this team culture, and like yeah, since we had the head coach shift, it just became even stronger. And I think we as a team is like way different, very close in and outside of the pool. So there is a lot to be grateful for.
Even though obviously it didn't turn out the way it did today, you guys, I mean, the schedule you've played and the ranked teams you've gone toe-to-toe with, some that you've won, some you've lost, but how do you feel that this season in and of itself, regular season, has prepared you guys for the postseason?
Yeah, well, I think we are a very, very young team. We have 10 incoming freshmen, and we had a crazy schedule, to be honest. In my past 4 years, like I've never played this many games. Like it was crazy from weekend to weekend, tournament to tournament. So I can definitely feel that we are getting a bit tired, but I think we're still very well conditioned, and like there are a few people who's like in the water for straight 32 minutes and non-stop. We are going up and down, and honestly I love it, and I feel like there's still a lot in us that we can show that what this team has as potential. So I'm excited for MTSF tournament, to be honest. They're coming back.
Lutza, you capped off one of the best goal-scoring seasons in the history of Arizona State water polo with the hat trick. I feel like that's only right. Take me through what this season has meant to you, not only as a player and then today, capping it off with an epic 3 goals.
Yeah, well, I feel like I struggled before, like in my past like 3 years, as like playing and like playing up to like I would say my potential, and I had many talks with Petra, with Ethan, with friends, family mostly, that this is my last season, this is all I got, and I wanted to leave everything in the pool, absolutely everything I have and what I learned so far, like throughout my whole 13 years of like water polo journey. And I wanted to leave this environment, this team, this culture on a good note, feeling that I did my absolute best I could.
How much have you grown as a player and a person?
Since I got here?
Yeah.
A lot, to be honest. I think my style of water polo completely changed. Hungary is very traditional water polo, and in my role I didn't ever really have to play defense, so that was a huge adjustment when I came here, and I think the previous years all prepared me for the success I had this season, and I feel like I became a lot more complex player, if I can say that, on offense, defense, both ends.
So you set a lot of different records this year and just so many different shining moments for the team, but what would you say was your favorite moment from your senior season, and what will you miss most about playing for the Sun Devils?
It's a tough one. I have a lot of very, very good moments. My absolute favorite, it's not even connected to water polo, but it's with the team. We were at San Jose, and after the San Jose game we were getting ice cream with the team, and we just stopped singing on the street, Mamma Mia, and I think that's my forever favorite moment of the whole season, because that was the first time when well, not the first time, but like that's when I realized that it's so much bigger than just a team. Like we are in some way like connected as like almost, well, not by blood, but I would call them my sisters, my family. So it was a very, very special moment for me.
What's the most important thing that Coach Party taught you as a person and as a player?
I think she struggled a lot with me. I can get in my head during games a lot, and if something doesn't go my way, I used to lose my head or stop shooting or stop whatever I felt like it's not going that way, and I think she helped me the most, just like to moving on, and just because I missed a shot doesn't mean I have to stop, and to have that confidence in me and in my teammates that if the play doesn't work out, the next one is going to be there, and no one ever, I think, trusts me as much as Petra's trusting me, and it helps me a lot because I know that if something doesn't go my way, she still wants me to do what she knows I can do in the pool, and that was amazing to see my progress just to previous seasons, like how I act like in the water in tough situations.
And there you heard from her again. I mean, just growing, obviously, as a player. but yeah, I mean, it's a team that, and you look at her in 4 years, you know, so her freshman year, she scored 46 goals. We're like, all right, not a bad start, talented team. Then her sophomore year, she puts in 32. All right. Last year, she put in 53. I'm like, wow, it's looking good. So, you know, being 70. This year, 120 goals. Like I said, 120 goals. And teams know once they start seeing this, you know, when she gets the ball, well, yeah, are you going to sit there and foul her? Are you going to sit there and let her take a penalty shot, where she'll bury it and have no defender there? It's insane. But yeah, a 4-year tall. I mean, and with those goals, I mean, so it's an average of 62.75 goals a year. It's madness. But they are now headed to the 22-7. They finished 2-4 in conference. By the way, real quick, wanted to get to that. 11-2 at home. I mean, only losses to Cal and USC. 2-2 away, and 9-3 in neutral site. So 22-7, and now they have the MPSF Conference Championships, which is in Bloomington, and that is April 26th. So Friday. So like I said, they have about 12, 13 days off from that. So that is what they have next. We will get to more of it. But I do also want to get to the sound because Coach Dillingham the other night, we're going to wrap on this today. But Coach Dillingham, after Saturday night's practice, was, talking about obviously the team, but a lot of questions about Hines Ward. I talked about at the top of the show. Hines Ward is now the new receivers coach, and Coach Samples, again, who coached Dillingham, obviously, first for his coaches. And again, you're for your coaches. Obviously, you want them to do well, but he's an assistant head coach and running backs coach at Oregon now under, obviously, Coach Dillingham's former coach that he worked with, Dan Lanning, being his offensive coordinator. So, so that is absolutely awesome. But I do want to play this sound real quick. We'll end on this. But Coach Dillingham from the other night, from Saturday night, talking about, he said everything, Hines Ward, obviously the scrimmage. And I asked him a question because for the first time, and we talked about it, I tweeted it out for you guys. We saw it, but Jaden Rashada, head and thumb injury, actually taking 11 on 11 snaps. And yes, you're not touching the quarterback, but throwing the ball. So Coach will talk about that and a lot of new wide receiver coach. Welcome to Sun Devil Nation, Coach Ward. Awesome to have Hines Ward here. Another Coach Ward on the staff. So, and it's, and by the way, Brian Ward, the defensive coordinator, is Doug Tamro's favorite Ward on the staff. But anyway, without further ado, here is Coach Dillingham from Saturday night after the team scrimmage, spring practice number 9.
Showing what Arizona State is about is pretty cool to see.
So you're out there with Jonathan Gannon. What were those discussions looking like? Just catching up?
Yeah. Hi, how you doing? Good to see you.
Jake Plummer talked to the team before?
He did. Just the message of, in order to win, you have to be a brotherhood, you have to be a family, you have to compete at a high level every day, and you have to do that every day, and you have to repeat. And there's going to be controversy, there's going to be arguments, there's going to be fights, but at the end of the day, when you get back in the locker room, it's a brotherhood. And he said that was the secret sauce that they had, but the reality is there's no secret about it. And that's why we got to recruit guys that want to be here, recruit guys that are passionate about each other, good people who want each other to succeed.
What did you think of Jaden's first live action throwing?
It was good. For not being out there, but he got cleared, and he wanted to go, and kudos to him for he's cleared, wanted to go, and in a scrimmage setting. So I was happy that he challenged himself to get in there a little bit.
Were you able to talk about Hines Ward?
Yes, Hines Ward is our wide receiver coach. The contract or the agreement's done, so he's going to be here. He was out here today. He drove out here with his wife. We're excited to have him a part of the brotherhood. We were working with it for a few days, right? There was one thing in the contract that we couldn't agree upon. I told him he had to admit that there was only one toe in bounds, and he wouldn't do it. So we had to take that language out. And once we took that language out, you know, he signed and he's here. So.
How did that relationship with you two work out?
Yeah, so, you know, I always study people. You know, that's just what I do. And he started coaching about 6 years ago with the Jets. And I thought it was interesting. Okay, this is a tenacious player. He's starting to coach at really the bottom floor of coaching. So obviously he wants to do it. And I just kind of lost my mind for a long time. And then Coach Butterfield, our chief of staff here, he was offered a job on his XFL team when he was the head coach. And I said, well, how is he? He goes, he's an unbelievable person. Well, how is he as a coach? He's a phenomenal leader of men. I said, okay, well, we need to interview this guy, because if he's a great person, he's a great leader of men, then let's see if he can coach football. And we brought him in. And he was phenomenal in his teaching progressions, phenomenal in his vision for what it looks like. And the thing that really stood out to me most was anytime you hire, you know, somebody who's been successful, you say, okay, do they want this? Do they want the grind? Why do you want to work 100-hour weeks when you don't have to? And when I asked him that question, he said, I love it, and I want to prove to people I can do it. And when you have a guy and you watch him play the game, all he did was prove people wrong with his effort and physicality. That was his identity as a person. And then when he's in your office and he says, I want to prove people that I can be the best at this, you know, you can feel it. And when you can feel the energy, when you can feel the passion, any room he steps into, any family that feels that passion that I felt in that room, right, they're going to want to play for him.
What were the players' reactions to Hines Ward?
That was about it. They're, holy cow. You know, I was talking to X and he was like, yeah, I had like 9 of my family members call me about it, right? But the thing is, there's Hines Ward, the player, which is great. There's a lot of players who can't coach, and a lot of players who can be great coaches, right? My goal was to find the best football coach, and I believe I did that. And it's not about, yes, his accolades helped him learn the knowledge and learn all those things to become a great coach. But I truly believe, after being around him a day and a half, being on a whiteboard with him, seeing teaching progression, seeing the passion for what he's about, the person he's about, he hit up somebody to ask about me, and the first question he asked was, is he a good person? Well, the first thing on our board when you walk in is be a good person. So if he's asking about me, and that's his first question, then what do you think he values? That fits the culture that I'm trying to build here. And on top of that, he wants to be here. He doesn't want to move around. He wants to find some stability in this coaching world. And that's the other thing I'm looking for.
What's it mean to you for him to be able to coach under?
Yeah, I wouldn't say under, I would say with. You know, every coach that I coach with, it's a team effort, right? I don't get to do much coaching. I can do some coaching, but I got to trust that people are going to carry out the vision. And, you know, 2 nights ago, he texted me a big notepad of notes from a meeting that he just sat in with us and the team. And it was lifers, little things, intensity, family, education, response, success, right? And he talked about smart, tough, the ball, the team, be a good person, make good decisions, have more fun working harder than anything in the country. It was all on this notepad. And he didn't take any notes on the scheme. He took only the notes on the culture. And when he sent me that iPad notes of the culture, that's a guy who gets it. He understands what wins. That's what wins. And that was what I took away when I met with him in person. That was what I took away 2 days later when he shot me that text.
In the last 2 weeks of spring practice, are you trying to settle down the 2 deep, or are you going to do as much shuffling the last 2 weeks have you done so far?
As much shuffling as we've done so far.
Jordan Tyson had a really good day.
Confidence, maturity. You know, he's growing up. He really is. And I couldn't be more proud of him. He's making plays. He's blocking. He's trying to finish harder, right? And he's doing it. He's getting mad if he gets a penalty for, you know, blocking. And it's like, that's the stuff that you want to see from these, because he's still young. And when you're young and then you battle an injury and you were successful, now you're injured, you're at a new place, it's hard to stay engaged. We can say you can stay engaged. We were all 19 years old. Now be a 19-year-old really good player that's now hurt at a new place. And I think he's more comfortable, he's happy, and you know, it's fun. You can beat him in Madden once in a while.
How does the hire of Hines Ward elevate the upside for receivers when it's deeply talented, a lot of guys with potential to...
Yeah, I wanted a guy who would come in And when he sat down, people looked at him and listened instantly. How could you not, right? And then on top of that, he has to be able to teach. And when he taught me, I learned something, right? I learned about different release techniques based off the width of a corner stance. So I've never heard that. And I learned it in a meeting from him. And I know when to apply it. And the fact that he could teach me something, I could learn it, and I would know when to apply it in an interview is a testament to his ability to coach. And there's no doubt in my mind he's going to challenge those guys to get the best out of them every single day, because that's who he is in everything he does. So I have no doubt in my mind he's going to bring the intensity and the note-taking, the attention to detail, because that's who he is. And at the end of the day, every player is a reflection of their coach. So what that room's going to look like is hopefully a reflection of him.
Will he be out here on Tuesday?
I don't know. He'll be out here. Whether he can coach or not, that depends how quickly we can move and shake. I don't know the answer to that.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
And you heard him right there, Coach Dillingham, obviously talking about Hines Ward, the new hire. I mean, most of the obviously rightfully so, but I mean, that's the thing. And Coach Dillingham's talked about it. I mean, be a good person. You know, I go back to even when, and Coach Dillingham, I mean, in 14 and 15, he was, you know, an offensive assistant working with Mike Norvell. But I mean, Todd Graham on the staff. I mean, Todd Graham, same thing. I mean, a lot of things, you know, you talk about discipline. It's not about over disciplining, but, you know, it doesn't surprise me that, you know, Hines Ward had asked that question. It was cool to see him out there on the scrimmage. He was out there. Like I said, we'll see if he's coaching tomorrow when spring practice resumes, which, you know, I'll be out there as well. But yeah, very exciting. I mean, I asked about, you know, Jaden Rashada, like I said, wanted to be out there, but and throwing with his thumb. So it is very that part is very cool. So it was very stoked to see Jaden Rashada out there and in 11-on-11, because like I said, we've been on 7-on-7. I've you know, told you about it. A lot of people have talked about it. But yes, so that was extremely awesome. And to see that. But yeah, with Hines Ward out there and, you know, Jordan Tyson, talking about the receiver and the maturity. And again, not talking, you know, Elijah Badger, you know, he mentioned X right there, X Guillory, like got a Jake Smith back. Tyson's developing. Troy O'Meary, I mean, and Tyson obviously had a very successful freshman year at CU. Transfers banged up last year. So, I mean, doesn't get in, as I talked about, to the end of the season. So, look, that receiver room, it was in, you know, it went from being in like great hands and coaching with Coach Samples to remaining in great, equally phenomenal hands with Hines Ward. And we'll see it going forward from there. So I'll be very excited to see it. But hey, that is going to do it for me. Thank you so much for jumping in. Again, one last time, if you didn't see my my Pats run, got my Pats run medal. Bam. Bam. That's right. That's an iconic ASU shot. So yeah, I literally, I could go wear this every day. Because I always said, literally, total seriousness. If I had ever been in the Olympics, won a gold medal for anything, I would wear that thing anywhere I went every day of my life. Don't care. You know what? That's the drum I beat to. Because a gold, silver, or bronze medal. I won an Olympic medal. I would wear that every day out if I could, you know, to things for the rest of my life, just because it's the reminder of what I did, the accomplishment. But being in Pat's run, having this, I mean, I remember this picture again, being on campus with Pat Tillman, absolutely phenomenal. Like I told you guys. So anyway, I'm going to get out of here. Everybody have a great rest of your Monday. I will see you tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel. At Diablo00 on X, Artist Formula on Twitter. You see the show live there every day. My IG, Michael.Caratanudo.5. And yes, you all know it. The YouTube. Go to my YouTube channel and subscribe. So go to YouTube. You can look up the channel. It's at M as in Michael, V as in Victory, C as in Cat 005 at MVC005 on YouTube, and subscribe because you miss a lot of great sound today. You miss practice interviews, other interviews. I have sound from Coach Bartlett, which I will get to tomorrow ahead of their Grand Canyon game, but post Friday night with Utah because that was a very frustrating game. I'll explain that. tomorrow. But nonetheless, go to the YouTube at M as in Michael, V as in Victory, C as in Cat, at MVC005 on YouTube, and subscribe. So I am out of here. I'm going to take you out of here with a little bit of awesome, a little collage I did at Pat's Run, finishing obviously on the field, and fans getting to or Tillman, runners and stuff, runners, walkers getting to congregate on the field. But I also got this shot, and shout out to Mr. Fight's son, CJ. Got an awesome picture with him, posted it on X. So again, go to @Diablo00. You can see it there. But yeah, going to take you out on that from Tillman's Run. Have a great rest of your Monday. I will see you tomorrow. And yes, before we get out of here, though, you know it. As always, forks up.
68-year-old Nancy Robert of Phoenix. Woohoo! She's with Debbie Perez of Phoenix.
Terry's three. Johnny Walker matching up against control. His shot. Bruce score, they score. They tie the game up 2-2. Some drives out for Robbie Ryan. Her three right on the money. This is Taya Hansen for three. Other side of the rim with a pretty reverse. Wow. 5 seconds.